Alright, so, first of all, before getting into this, if you have not seen, I put up, my Packers Go to Therapy, or Packers Fan Goes to Therapy, number 3. I am planning on making it a 4-part. I did put out, about 2 community posts, one this week, one last week, talking about how I was able to extend it because what I want to do is getting extended because of all the losses by the Packers. So, I'm having a blast making it. Now, in my opinion, despite, again, I'm writing it, I'm making it, shooting it, I had more fun and, what's the word? I guess I feel like I was more creative for part 2 than part 3. I still love part 3. But for me, my standard right now is to beat part 2. And in order to do that, I feel like part 4 needs part 3. So in a sense, for me, part 3 was kind of like a cooldown for me. And then again, part 4, I'm hopefully going to be able to ramp it up. I don't plan on going past part 4. Just making it a little mini series here again in the middle of the season. But I might kind of leave some stuff unanswered. Some questions unanswered and whatnot. Maybe I'll leave the ending open-ended. And maybe I'll do something at like the end of the regular season or something. But right now I don't plan on it. Originally it was only supposed to be 3 parts, but again, go watch that. It's up. Just again, kind of a little explanation for me. I still love part 2. Again, it's probably my best video I ever made. That I just had so much fun doing. Again, after I did part 1 too, which is really fun to make. But again, part 3 is, in my opinion, better than part 1. But part 2 is the standard right now. So part 4, I'm gonna really try my best to do that. Now we're 2 minutes in. To this, you know what, I won't restart, let me not restart, because again, I want to explain that, I want to put that in a video, and again, this will go up a couple hours after, you know, part 3 is out, so, if you have not seen it, but, anyway, this I want to talk about this video was, we are 6 days away from a month ago, I put up a Packers Rant video, which it doesn't feel like it's been over 3 weeks for me. Well, again, just under, just over 3 weeks, because it's 3 weeks in a day that I did it. Because it felt like I just did it last week or 2 weeks ago. But I feel like I could have, if I had done it this week, I could have made that video an hour long. I think there's so much more I could have added, so many more injuries. We have reports coming out of, hey, Rodgers sucks. And, you know, these players are against him. Players are against Joe Barry. We have John Kuhn came out, I guess, defending Aaron Rodgers. I have not seen the tweet, but apparently he came out and defended Rodgers from some source, or some fake source about how this guy had information from the locker room, from players like wide receivers and whatnot. They were basically kind of blaming Rodgers and saying, hey, like, why do we have to step up when you're not stepping up? So again, there's just been this whole war. And the war is now including the players. And I feel like, again, in the past 3 weeks and 1 day since I put up that video, I talked at the start about how it felt like a nuke, like the 5th nuke was dropped. Again, that was 3 weeks ago. There might have been 2 more nukes that have dropped since then. The world is dying. We're on our way to Mars at this point right now because there's been so many nukes that have dropped on the Packers here. It's just like we're gonna kill the universe at this rate, dropping nukes on every single planet in our solar system, and we gotta go find new ones to ruin it. But I feel like I don't feel as bad isn't the right word, but I don't feel as frustrated, I guess, as I did 3 weeks ago putting up that video. Because back then, the standards felt higher than they feel right now. The standards have really dropped. Now, no one expected to win the Buffalo game. I don't know any real fan in this fan base that expected to win against Buffalo. But Washington, the Jets, I think we could have had a shot. Lions should have been a tune-up game, should have been a bounce-back game. And you put up 9 points against the worst defense in the NFL. You could say they're freaking, one of the best college defenses in the U.S. If you want to look at it way and say worst NFL, and you could just say, hey, well, put the Lions defense down in college, and they're the best. It's like we're losing to like one of the best college defenses, which that's just how I think of it. Just a fun way to think about it, different way to think about it. But again, worst defense in the league we lost to. And going into that game, I was nervous as hell. I was scared to death because the way our offense has been playing, I knew it wasn't going to be good. I knew we were going to struggle. And we did. Again, 9 points. For some reason, they had David Bakhtiari running a route, and Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball in the dirt, which has allowed Aiden Hutchinson to get a free pick there in the end zone. We were at the 20-yard line or whatever, 2 timeouts in a minute 20 left or whatever, and Rodgers is taking 3 end zone shots instead of trying to get the first down for some weird reason. Aaron Jones, I think he got hurt? No. Yeah, he got hurt against the Lions. There's been so many injuries. Just today, the day I'm recording this, it's the 11th, November 11th. I'm recording this. Eric Stokes has been ruled out for the year. Rashawn Gary was ruled out earlier this week. Aaron Jones has kind of been like day to day. I think there was a lineman or something that got hurt. Watson has been day to day. Devondre Campbell still day to day. Cobb is still a couple weeks out from returning. Alan Lazard has kind of been injured, not injured, and all over the place too. So this offense, and again, more strictly the offense and the defense, is really, really, really banged up. And there's no way one wide receiver fixed this, okay? There's not. We can talk about 3 weeks ago, it's one wide receiver, maybe it helps a little bit here and there. You had a pretty healthy defense. And now it's the defense is getting hurt. The offense is already hurt to hell and getting worse every week. And so it's just one player's not going to fix this. The coaching's not going to fix this at this point. They just don't want to adjust. Again, I'm higher on Joe Barry. I keep saying that in videos. I'm higher than most people in this fan base because I look back to last season and what he did late in the year was absolutely dominate. Even in the playoffs against the Niners, not the defense's fault. You ask anyone, you go back, ask anyone, we're not go back, but you go ask anyone right now. They're not going to say that it was the defense's fault. They'll say special teams, or they'll say offense. The defense looked amazing, especially late in the year last year. But with Gary out for the year, with, who knows, Devondre Campbell kind of seems to be day to day, so that he would kind of lose our leader in the middle there. Savage is not playing. We just got Jonathan Abrams, so maybe he can, take some snaps and he can be good. He's a good player. He just gets burned in coverage a lot. So, maybe having, again, someone out there besides Savage. Again, Eric Stokes is out for the year now. So, that gives someone else, which, again, Nixon is kind of in a backup that he hasn't been playing bad this year. Rasul Douglas is kind of, I don't know what happened to him this year, but he's not playing that well this year. But I still think there is potential for this defense to turn it around. Again, I don't want to put all the blame on Joe Barry. Some people are going to say it's all the coaching, all Joe Barry and whatnot, when players have to execute as well too. Joe Barry can call up the greatest scheme ever for, let's go back to the Bills game. Let's just say Josh Allen. They have this perfect scheme and whatnot. They're able to get pressure and they should be able to get pressure on the play. They should have the back covered. Josh Allen is able to has to stick in the pocket because again they're trying to execute it and have him close in the pocket so he can't escape and whatnot. And you can have 8, 9, 10 people doing the job, but one person messes up, 2 people mess up, and that play's blown up. And then it's it's the defensive fault. And then again, people are going to blame the coaching when it was the player's fault. So again, it's not all Joe Barry. I don't want to. I'm spending 2-3 minutes on this. I don't want to, but I'm defending Joe Barry. I still believe in him more than most people. Now, is he a problem? Yes, I will admit he's a problem. I will admit there are some problems with the coaching and whatnot. But for me, it's the offense. It's not special teams anymore. We got Rich Bisaccia. They're doing okay. We haven't really seen a lot of the special teams in the recent weeks because it's either a turnover or they're going for it on fourth down because you're down 21 points or whatever it is. So it's not the special teams anymore. It's more. It's to me. It's offense. Offense is the biggest problem. It's coaching. It's Rodgers. It's the lack of wide receivers, lack of experience. Again, tight end I think is okay. We're not utilizing our running backs when I would say probably most of the fan base would agree that Aaron Jones is the best player on the field or on the offense when they're on the field. So, it's that. But again, that all comes down to coaching. But it also could come down to is Rodgers changing the play. We know he has a history of that. He used to do that with Mike McCarthy late in his career and changed the play at the line of scrimmage because he didn't like what Mike McCarthy was calling. He probably has done that with Matt LaFleur. Now, we're not obviously going to hear about that because, Rodgers is going to pretend like everything's all good and they're all buddy-buddy. But he might be changing the plays. He's getting frustrated. He's yelling. Go look at the Lions game. I mean, the cameras caught every single second of him screaming, saying F-bombs and whatnot, saying S-bombs on the sideline, yelling at people. I'm sure there's already memes out there of him from last weekend too. So to me, again, it's the offense that's the biggest problem here. And I pretty much touched on that in my rant video not last month, but technically it was the last month. Because, again, we're only 11 days in here. So, last month, over 3 weeks ago, I touched on it. I touched on all three. I didn't really touch a lot on special teams because really only the Jets game has been the really special teams blunder. But, again, you can't mess up when we're going forward on fourth down and we're not handing the ball off and, it's incompleted pass when you have A.J. Dillon in the backfield. So, It's over. I don't know what demon, I don't know what god we pissed off. I don't know what entity, I don't know what happened. For somehow, some reason, we pissed off some being, some greater being in the universe, whether it's the NFL gods and this is all scripted or whatever. We made someone mad, and it's not going well. Well, maybe it's all the bad energy. Good to, Rodgers likes to talk about energy. Maybe it's all the bad energy in, Wisconsin. And everyone, just hating on him, hating on the coaching, hating on the players. Maybe that's just all stuck and just went all right into the players, so they're bad. But for real though, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We're months out. Again, the major thing going is Davante Adams, and it feels like, and I saw someone talk about this. It feels like Davante was kind of saving grace for Matt LaFleur's offense, and they still have not adjusted to running the offense differently without him. It's almost like they're running the offense the way they would if Davante was still there. So I see that, and when I go back and watch film and whatnot, I do see that too. So again, it just could be lack of adjustments, which we've been screaming about. We've been screaming, run the damn ball, and they're still not doing it. So, I don't know how to fix this. I really don't know how to fix this. And I'm going to end it here because I could go on for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and just talk about every single little thing, go through every player, go through every coaching staff member, and just rip everything. But I don't know what else I can say because I was more emotional in that video 3 weeks ago, over 3 weeks ago. But I agree with a lot of what I said. I don't really... Maybe 2 years down the line, or maybe we get to week 18 and we're in the playoffs. Maybe I'll look back at that video and go, yeah, okay, looking what we know now, I don't fully agree with what everything I said. But I think it still holds up. I think my video still holds up. I think a lot of it, if not all of it, still holds up with what I say. I think a lot of people are agreeing with it of, hey, like, there's a problem here, and they're not fixing it. And that's kind of what the gist of the video was. And again, this is kind of like a follow-up to it. But there's not really much else I really want to say, I really can say. got a lot out of my system in that video. And since then, it's just like, okay, well, am I just going to retread? No. Like, obviously, again, I retreaded a little bit here because with all the injuries and whatnot, it's going to make the play calling worse. It's going to make the players worse. You know, everything's going to be affected when you lose Rashawn Gary, who is one of the best at his position in the NFL right now. Eric Stokes, up-and-coming second-year corner who has played pretty good. His rookie year was pretty good, and he was started building off of that even more in his second year here. So to have him get injured too, that sucks. When you have, you know, a veteran like Cobb, you know, get injured and he's out. Now, he's trying to teach the younger wide receivers, and maybe he's just he might not even be showing up. I don't know the protocol. I don't know if you like are allowed to just not show up if you're injured, or if you have to show up if you're not like severely injured and you can walk and whatnot. And I don't know the protocol for that, but who knows? You know, maybe these vets aren't teaching them. You know, Sammy Watkins been on and off and on and off and on and off the field. Again, Alan Lazard getting hurt too. So it's just, it could be the veteran presence is just different, which I don't know how it's different because it feels like a lot of, like, again, like the captains and what. Now, again, there's a whole thing with Jair, but a lot of the captains weren't really, like it shouldn't have changed too much, especially because there are some reports that they're all still, you know, a tightly knit group. But I don't know. I don't know what's going through every single player's, the mindset of the players, of the coaches. You know, we can all yell at Goody. We can all yell at Mark Murphy and whatnot. At the end of the day, we're fans, so not everything is going to change. Now, it would be nice because Philly fans last year actually bullied the Eagles into running the ball. And, you know, so it would have been nice if we can do that, but it feels like Matt LaFleur is too thick-headed where it's not going to work. So, I don't know. I said I was going to end this video 3 minutes ago. Here we are still. For now, though, like the video, share it around, subscribe. Again, have your thoughts changed in the past month since we really started this losing streak? How do you feel about everything and whatnot? Just let me know down in the comments, again, your thoughts and whatnot on the season. I know, you know, I have Vikings fans that follow this page now that are probably extremely happy. You know, a bunch of NFL teams are probably extremely happy too about it. So, again, like the video, share it around, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.